Hi, Tylord here with a pickups video. It's been a while. The last month and a half has been kind of chaotic and I haven't had much time. I did find a lot of good stuff throughout that time away from YouTube. Haven't had any time to make videos. Been playing a lot of games, surprisingly. Really haven't been to the gym or anything. I've been eating like trash. I need to get back to a nice routine. It seems like when I stop making videos, that's when everything goes downhill. Like I stop working out, I stop doing my push-ups, just eat like trash. But I gotta get back on schedule with that. I found a lot of good movies and games over the past couple months. So I'll share those right now. Okay, gotta start off with two of my favorite movies. I found another copy of Jaws on VHS for 25 cents. I can't pass that up because it's my favorite movie. I could have a dozen of these and I'd always pick it up for 25 cents. If anyone needs a copy of Jaws, I would be glad to give it to you. I love sharing my favorite movies. If anyone still uses VHS players. Anyway, best movie ever made as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, really great horror movie. Not your typical Halloween time horror movie. This is more of a summer horror movie. And then I found another copy of A View to a Kill. Another one of my favorite 80s movies. I'm a huge Bond fanatic. I already have this copy, but I can't pass it up for 25 cents. I don't care if Roger Moore is old in this, he's still awesome. Oh, I'm even wearing my Zorn Industries shirt today from this movie. So I recently beat Final Fantasy VII for the first time, and I had never really been interested in this thing, but I found it for $1 at the thrift store. Final Fantasy Advent Children. I don't know if that's a sequel or a prequel to the Final Fantasy game, but I really enjoyed the game so much. I'm kind of anxious to see this movie now. So I was keeping my eye out for it. I found it for $1, I believe, at the thrift store. Let me know if this is any good, if anyone's seen it. Okay, we recently went out of state, up north, and we traveled through Bend, Oregon. I think Bend, Oregon is actually the home of the development team for that new zombie game. What is it called? Days Gone, with the biker, that post-apocalyptic Oregon type setting. But anyway, we went through Bend, Oregon, and Bend, Oregon is also home of the last Blockbuster Video on Earth. And we go through there every year, but I never have a chance to stop by. This year we squeezed a little visit in at the Blockbuster, last one on Earth, and I picked up a couple videos there. And that place was really poppin'. It's more of a tourist attraction, I guess, being the last Blockbuster, but it seems like that town is really into renting videos. When I went in there was all kinds of people like dropping off movies on the way home from work that they had rented, or leaving the store with video rentals. I don't think, everyone says they might have bad internet up there, but I don't think that's what it is. I think they're just obsessed with the idea of renting videos, like they're stuck in the past, and I kind of appreciate that. Even like I saw youngsters in there, like a group of teenage girls were looking at movies and they were all happy about it, like, oh my god, I have to watch this movie, we gotta rent it. Like, it was pretty poppin' in there. Like, it kind of felt like back in the 90s when Blockbuster was big. I don't know if that culture is just exclusive to that town, so I don't know if it would work anywhere else, but it seemed to be doing well there. And of course we were only in town for a few hours, so I couldn't rent anything, but I did buy some used videos. Here's one I saw at the theater a year ago and I really enjoyed it, Overlord. This is a really good movie. This takes me back to like stuff like The Thing or Predator. A really good like action horror movie set during World War II. I gotta watch this again. I only saw it one time at the show, but I really enjoyed it. So I got that at the Blockbuster. Got my daughter, or my wife picked this one out, the Lego Movie, the second Lego Movie. So that's something my girls can watch. And then this is one I wanted to see at the show, Johnny English Strikes Back. Unfortunately, they never played it at any of the cinemas around here, so I missed out on the new Johnny English, but it was there at Blockbuster. Got that. I think these were $6.99, but they might have been 3 for $15 or 3 for $10 or something. Okay, I wanted to take a souvenir out of the last Blockbuster on the planet. Oh, then I found some UMD videos that I did not have. Actually, I might have Silent Hill, but it was $2. I really like this movie. I think it really visually looks a lot like the game Silent Hill there, just in time for Halloween. I can sit on the couch after work and watch it on my PSP. And then Resident Evil Extinction. I have 1 and 2 on UMD, but I didn't have this one, so I was glad to find that for $2. Resident Evil Extinction. Mia Jovovich really does it for me. I usually am more into voluptuous women and not really that skinny supermodel look, but I don't know, something about Mia Jovovich does it for me. And these movies are corny as heck, and they're people complain they're not like the game. I just think they're kind of fun. I've always been into those old, really cheesy, action-packed Italian zombie horror movies. So this is right up my alley. Kind of a higher production value. Doesn't have quite the charm of those old Italian movies for me, but I enjoy these. Okay, and then I found this 400 sound effects on CD. This is going to be very useful for me because I've been making my own animated movie over the past 5 years. I'm slacking on it right now, but I'm really close to finishing it. But stuff like this is really helpful, and I don't think any of this stuff is copyrighted. Yeah, so all these kind of sound effects will be really helpful for the editing of my animated movie. I got that for $3 at Rasputin's Music and Movies. One of my favorite stores. It's about the size of a Costco. It's full of just used music and movies. I find a lot of laser discs there. I find a lot of games. The game selection is small, but I do find some good deals every once in a while. Most of the time on my videos, when you see that I found a good deal on a game, it's usually there. And they're putting a pinball arcade in there, apparently. They're opening up a clothes store in there and a pinball arcade. So now I like it even more. I could spend hours in there, but I just don't want to be squatting down looking at the low racks full of movies, DVDs. There's all kinds of books and VHS tapes. Yeah, I don't know why. I always pick up GameCube games, even if they're sports. 50 cents All-Star Baseball 2002. I think the cases are worth that, these GameCube cases, but I'm just going to keep that. I don't have, I think I only have one other baseball game. So I have that on GameCube. Got Wii Clone Wars on Nintendo Wii for 50 cents. This looks like it's from Hollywood Video. It has the Hollywood Video printed cover. I got Sega's Ghost Squad. I hear that's pretty good. I think it's a light gun on rails shooter. Or it could be a first person shooter. It's by Sega, so I got that one. That was $2. Usually my wife is really into these, and my girls might be too. I got Indiana Jones Lego for 50 cents. This was a couple dollars, and I can't pass that up. Mario Kart. Usually I just find this for cheap and I take it to GameStop and get credit. But I think I want to keep this version for myself because I don't have it. Fill out the Wii collection. So I was happy to find another Mario Kart for Wii. God of War. I already have the collection on PS3, but I thought it was nice to have the original copy on PS2. This is the thing that really pushed the PS2. Like, this looked really nice for a PS2 game. I think probably there might be more. Let me know. I know a PS2 was inferior to the other consoles in many ways as far as the power and all that, but the developers really could work some magic with it. I think this one, maybe the God of War games, Resident Evil 4 and Black, are like the nicest looking PS2 games. Like, they really impressed me. But there's probably others if you want to let me know. I really like stuff like that, seeing the console of the generation like really push it to the limits. So I got another God of War here. Oh, a gift for my homeboy Alex, that game collector. He must be clearing out his doubles PS4 games or his cross-platform games. So he sent me 2 games in a series I really like. Dead Rising 1 and 2 for the PlayStation 4. I love this game. I spent a lot of time on this. This is probably the first Xbox 360 that really created a bond between me and the console. I spent a lot of time on this game. This is pretty much... I'm a big fan of the George Romero zombie movies, the Night of Living Dead and so on. This is pretty much the closest thing you're going to get to a Dawn of the Dead video game. I think it even says, not on this version, but on the 360 version, it even had a warning like this is in no way affiliated with George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead. It's just so similar. I don't know, for legal reasons they had to print that on the title. Yeah, it's just a shopping mall full of zombies. You're trying to find survivors. You have a little home base. Really cool game. Kind of frustrating though. It's timed. I'm not really into games that are timed, but I forced myself to play this because it was so fun. Here's one I never played, and it looks even more anxiety-inducing. Dead Rising 2. I played the little demo of it, and you have to find medication for your little girl to keep her from becoming a zombie, and I found that really stressful. Anyway, 2 great Capcom games though. For my PS4 collection that's growing and growing, and I never actually even play my PS4. My wife is on it all the time. I more play the Switch and portable systems. And I have my GameCube hooked up in the living room on a little CRT. Anyway, then Alex sent me the old Medal of Honor Heroes for PSP. And like I just said, I've been playing a lot of portable games. I love PSP. This is actually one of the games I downloaded when when I hacked my PSP. I downloaded the ISO of this, or whatever it's called. So I took it to work and we could play Call of Duty, Medal of Honor. We could play that at work. This is one of the first times I remember you could play a first-person shooter on a portable system. So I remember we would play this at work. So now I have the actual disc of that. I found some racing games for the original Xbox that I didn't have. I just like filling out my Xbox collection because it's one of my favorite consoles. It's kind of like a second nostalgic time for me. Like, there's the Nintendo days back then, and then when I was around 18 or 20, maybe early 20s, I had a lot of free money. So I spent a lot of time playing Xbox games that I bought I finally had money. So Xbox takes me back to good times when I had a lot of free time. Not so much free time, I guess I just managed my time better back then when I didn't have kids. Anyway, Test Drive, blah blah blah. I think these were a couple bucks a piece, but I wanted them for the collection. Rally Sport Challenge. These look really amazing. I remember Tight White was streaming one of these and it looked remarkable. I don't know if it was this series or another rally racing game, but these These games look amazing on the original Xbox. Toka Race Driver 2. This looks pretty darn impressive as well. I think I got all those for a couple bucks a piece. I think this was $1. I didn't have it. Bad Company Battlefield. PlayStation 3. And what was this? Xbox Live Arcade for the 360. Looks like it has a bunch of little updated arcade games. I think that was $1. I got that. I didn't have it. Oh, GameStop 4 for $20. I thought this was a pretty good deal. Sonic All-Star Racing Transform Bonus Edition. I don't know what's so bonus about it. It has Wreck-It Ralph and NASCAR racer Danica Patrick. But a Sega racing game. I'm sure it's like Mario Kart, or wonder if Rio from Shenmue's in this one. Anyway, got that. One of my favorite open world action games, Gun. I have it on PS2 and GameCube. I didn't have it on 360. I'm sure it looks a lot nicer on the newer generation, so I got that. I didn't have Uncharted 4, so I got that. I have the first 3 on PS3. And then this Square Enix game, Left Alive, Day 1 edition. It looks sort of like a Metal Gear type game. Don't really know much about that, but all of these came out to be under 20. So I took advantage of that at GameStop. Okay, Logan's Run, Siphon Filter Logan's Shadow PSP. I got that for $1.95 at Rasputin's. I know, I hear a lot of good stuff about this series from Henry G and CM Retro. So I have that one. Kind of cool to have that. I like finding stuff for PSP. And then SOCOM Fireteam Bravo 2. I got that for 50 cents, just disc only. Okay, so I have Theatrhythm Final Fantasy. I don't know if that's some kind of music rhythmic game. Nintendo DS. I'm just gonna give that to Power Player Paul because he likes faggy things. Okay, I don't know why I spent $1.95 on this, but Jeopardy. I never see Nintendo cartridges anywhere, but I saw that and I had to get it for $1.95. Jeopardy on NES. I used to play Jeopardy on Super Nintendo a lot, and I enjoyed it, but it would frustrate me because you had to have the correct spelling, and there wasn't like a spell check or anything, so I would know the answer a lot of the time, but I couldn't spell it. And I would run out of time, and I would be infuriated. So I'm sure this is more of the same. But here's the NES cartridge. These were 50 cents a piece. Sledstorm Complete, PlayStation 1, and Supercross Circuit. I'm gonna give these to Tight White, or one of them he needs. But I can't pass up PS1 games for 50 cents. Getting to the end here already. Alright. For my Sega CD, I ordered this online. Rage in the Cage. This is probably the best version of Royal Rumble. There's the NES game Royal Rumble. This one's probably like the most superior home console 16-bit WWF game. It definitely has the best roster of any wrestling game ever made. Let me just name them off here. The Macho Man Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, the Ugandan Giant Kamala, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, the Native American Tatanka, Mr. Perfect, Crush, Rick the Model Martel, Bam Bam Bigelow, Bret the Hitman Hart, Erwin R. Shyster, also known as IRS, Yokozuna, the Big Boss Man, The Undertaker, Razor Ramon. Samu and Fatu, the Head Shrinkers. Nasty Boy Knobs, Nasty Boy Sags, the Nasty Boys. And Lex Luger. So man, I think that's the best roster of any wrestling game. Too bad it's missing Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. You know what? Papa Shango isn't on here either. Well, anyway, this is the biggest roster. I think that's like 20 of them. So it's pretty much the same game as Royal Rumble on SNES and Genesis, but way more characters. You can do a steel cage match. And then it has FMV videos of the finishing moves that every wrestler does. So I just love stuff like that. This is probably my favorite era of wrestling right here. Maybe WrestleMania 1 through like 9 or 10. That's my favorite time right here. Oh yeah, now we're down to the good stuff here. Okay. I've been hearing good things about this for a while from some of my buddies. Skies of Arcadia. This is an expensive game for me. I don't see it for much cheaper than $100 complete. Loose, it's around like $70 at best. Probably the same with the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast version might be a little cheaper, but I kind of wanted the GameCube version, the Legends. I think it has extra content. I can't be sure. So I found this on GameStop. On the website. Usually it's not available, but I checked every day, and it's $70 on GameStop's website. And I thought I'd take a chance because that's about as cheap as I could get it. I wasn't expecting it to come with the case, but I ordered it and it came about a week later. It had the case and the game. No manual though, but I think that's a killer deal. It was under $70 for Skies of Arcadia. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about this from some of my buddies, and man, this thing did not disappoint. I hate to be flaky, like I just was talking about how awesome Final Fantasy VII was. I'm kind of new to the JRPGs. Maybe over the last couple of years I got into them. I couldn't really stand turn battle random encounter BS when I was younger. Now I'm kind of older and I kind of want more chilled, relaxed games. This is one of the best games I ever played. This is epic. This is charming as heck. This feels like a Nintendo game. Actually, it's developed by Overworks, published by Sega. It's a Sega game, but man, does it feel like a Nintendo game. It feels like Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker. Just the presentation and just the way about the game. It is freaking epic. It felt like I was playing a Zelda game, like Zelda combined with Ocarina of Time combined with Final Fantasy VII. Man, this is a great game. It kind of feels like a nautical pirate adventure, but it's sci-fi theme. It's like up in the sky, like floating pirate ships on this planet where there's not really any land. It's just a main body of land. It's just floating islands up in the sky. So it sort of feels nautical theme, but it's up in the sky instead of the ocean. And you get ships, and you can upgrade your ships and battle other ships. The battle system in here is fun as heck. And then the on-foot battling is typical RPG. I kind of like this better than any other RPG. It has this focus system where you could spend a turn on charging up your special moves. Man, just really fun to explore. The story in here is pretty cliche and typical, but I really like stuff like that. It's really a relatable story. It's really epic. It feels like an epic pirate classic movie or something. Kind of combined with Star Wars, or it even has a lot. It feels kind of like the Avengers movies. Like it has an epic storyline. Really charming characters. You have to read it all. It doesn't have any voiceovers. It has a typical little like one-liner voice acting like Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker, but other than that, it's all text you have to read. But I really got into this. I really enjoyed the story, the characters. It's a charming, charming game. It took me back to when I played Ocarina of Time for the first time. This really boosts the GameCube for me, like up to like my list of highest or my favorite video game consoles. Probably Dreamcast too. This is on Dreamcast, so that boosts the Dreamcast up for me. This is a freaking epic game. I would encourage anyone to burn this on Sega Dreamcast and play it, or buy a copy of it. Find it as cheap as you can. I spent 80 hours on this. I beat it over the past month. I couldn't put it down. Any free time I had, I was on this. Even my daughter liked to play it with me, so that gave me more time to play this. She called it Little Boy and Little Girl. The main character, Vice and Ika, they're two little pirate kids. She calls them Little Boy and Little Girl. Then there's an old pirate dude. He's like an old fisherman dude. He's kind of like the Captain Ahab of the game, or Quint from Jaws. He's this old man with a robot arm. And then there's this little princess-looking character. She looks a lot like Zelda. Her name is Fina. And she's some kind of a supreme being that comes down and helps your group. So it's those four characters you start off with. My daughter calls them Little Boy, Little Girl, Princess, and Grandpa. She calls the fisherman guy Grandpa. Yeah, really had a blast with this game. It kind of starts off slow. It starts off good. It's good the whole way through, but it really picks up like halfway through. You will not be able to put this thing down. Highly recommend it. Go find a way to play this right now. I don't want to sound flaky, but I think I like this more than Final Fantasy VII and more than Final Fantasy X or 12. I really love those games. I'm not taking anything away from those, but this is the business right here. Yeah, so GameStop didn't let me down this time. We got it in box, $70. There's no way I could have found it that cheap online, on eBay or whatnot. Here's a game I've been wanting. I thought it was in my collection, but I couldn't find it. I've been loving SNK fighting games lately. I've been playing the heck out of them on my PSP and on my PS2, on my various compilations. I love Fatal Fury, Art of Fighting, World Heroes, all of those games. I could play those. I never get sick of them. This is one I think I rented before on Xbox, but I never got it. Then I may have gotten it used later on, but I must have misplaced it. Anyway, I got that for $13 shipped to me off of eBay, and it's sealed. And I kind of want to play it. Like, I bought it to play, but that was the cheapest version I could. That was the cheapest copy I could find, was 13 sealed. So I don't know if anyone has this game and you want a sealed copy. I'm not about having sealed stuff. I kind of would like to have the game to play. So I most likely will rip into it unless somebody has this game complete that's not sealed. I would trade it if you want to have the sealed copy. Anyway, I love King of Fighters, love Terry, all those characters from Fatal Fury, love stuff like that. So this is a nice 3D fighting game. Oh, another 2D, 3D fighting game. This is one I've wanted for a long time, but it's never at any of the GameStops. Unfortunately, I couldn't find it complete, but I got Tatsunoko versus Capcom for Wii. This is one of the few Capcom versus games I've never played, so I have that on Wii now. I might actually start playing that this weekend. Print out a label. I have a lot of games with no case, so it'd be nice to, if anyone knows how to make labels, I might pay you for it, because I don't have a printer. Okay, Hitman Absolution, I got that, $1.95. I must have been in a spending mood that day, or I didn't see anything else. So Hitman, I've never played any of these, but I've just been picking them up for cheap. I have quite a few of these Hitmans. Still haven't tried them yet. I really love Splinter Cell, so this I would think this would be up my alley. Okay, so this is a must-have for Switch. I ordered that off of eBay for cheap. I think I got it for like 20 bucks. Genesis Classics. Now I can play all my favorite Genesis games anywhere on my Switch. So now I can get back to Phantasy Star 4. Yeah, now I can play Golden Axe and Streets of Rage. When I was up north, I met my cousin, my second cousin, my cousin's son. He's a big gamer now. He's really into movies. Almost feels like he's my son. He's a lot like me. So he was into games, and he was talking about games, and we were playing Switch. We were playing Smash Brothers and Mario Kart on Switch. I really don't like Smash Brothers. Like, I never was into it. I don't think it's a real fighting game. It's something I always thought I would have liked, the bunch of Nintendo characters brawling. I just can't really get into it. It just looks like a bunch of little balls floating around. I can't really tell what's going on. But we spent some time playing it, and then I was gonna get him a gift because he was really good with my daughters when we were up there. He was entertaining my girls. So I was gonna go to GameStop up there and get him a game. I got him Dragon Quest Builders 2 on Switch. And then when I happened to be in there, I happened to see him in there too, and he was gonna get me a game. So we were gonna surprise each other, but we caught each other at GameStop at the same time. Anyway, he got me Smash Brothers Ultimate on Switch. I played this a lot on the way home, so I kind of I'm starting to like it now. Samus is the character I like to be. I was trying to play as Ryu, but you can't play it like Street Fighter. I want to play it like Street Fighter, but you can't play it like that. So I had to pick a character that I was good with, so I picked Samus. So I spent a lot of time. It was kind of fun just playing it to unlock more characters. I think that's the big draw of this game. So I have that on Switch now. I'm starting to get a pretty good Switch collection. And then a game I've always wanted to play, but I never got around to it. I don't want to spend 30 bucks on it now on Xbox 360. But here it is, 30 bucks on Switch. Ghostbusters Remastered. This is pretty much, from what I hear, this is the real Ghostbusters 3. It has the original cast of the movie. I think the same writers. Yeah, I think Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd did some writing for this. And they're all in there, the whole cast. I think even Janine and maybe even Rick Moranis. I'm not positive, but this is a game. I love Ghostbusters 1 and 2. And from what I hear, this is Ghostbusters 3. It looks like a Gears of War type gameplay, and I like that type of gameplay, third-person shooting. So got that for Switch, 30 bucks. That's as cheap as you can get it for Xbox 360. Now I can take that anywhere and play it. And that's about it. Bye!